Hello. Not sure who's out there. Hello, it's time for Storytelling by Pamela. I'm going to invite some friends. I didn't invite friends personally this time, but I'm going to do so now. I'm not sure who's home and who has children, but if you know someone who's home and you have children, like little kids, but I think the stories are good for everybody. Okay, but if you happen to be babysitting and you have little kids, or if there's something you'd like to share at a later date with family, just discuss it. Some of the stories. Okay, so hi Pamela, how are you doing? I'm just keeping myself busy while I'm quarantining and sharing different things that I have done in the community over the years. I've been doing storytelling for, I think about 35 years. And I visited universities and churches and schools and civic events and special events and assemblies. And I would tell rabbit tales and stories from all over the world. And I like to focus on stories that have value lessons. And I share some old stories, and then sometimes I just retell and add a new twist on stories. So I'm kind of like in my Can't Nobody Tell Me Nothing series. We're going to start off with something that's real common. So if you have children and they are not too busy this time and they'll listen to some little old-fashioned storytelling, it's good for them to listen to, and you can ask questions afterwards. I have something on my page. Also, I started a Storytelling by Pamela page. So that's going to be posted from now on that page. And if you would like it today, that would be great. Okay, Storytelling by Pamela. Okay, so the first story, you guys heard this song, right? Little bunny FuFu skipping through the prairie, picking up the field mice and hitting them on the head. Wow. You know, see, little bunny FuFu's mom had went to the store to buy more carrots, right? Because this gardener had blocked off all the carrots and she couldn't jump over, and he had barbed wire fences. And so she just went to get more carrots, but he was a child left to himself. Now, have you heard sometimes when children are left to themselves or they're idle? So he had nothing to do. Parents, think about that. Find something for them to do. He was left to himself, so he was just skipping through the prairie, picking up field mice and hitting them on the head. Well, there was a prairie fairy godmother, and she said, "Little bunny FuFu, don't do that. That's not nice. Don't pick up the field mice and hit them on the head." And then she just poof went away. Well, little bunny FuFu started thinking, can't nobody tell me nothing. Yeah, he had a can't nobody tell me nothing attitude. And he saw one of those field mice is going through, and he said, wow, there's a field mice. And he grabbed that field mice and picked them up and like hit him on the head. Ouch, why did you do that? Don't do that. He said, you can't tell me nothing, 'cause can't nobody tell me nothing. And the field mice was hurt. He says, you're a bully. Well, the fairy godmother of the prairie, of the forest, came down and said, little bunny FuFu, why did you do that? I told you not to pick up the field mice and hit them on the head. Well, you know what you got to do now. You've got time out, and you go stand near that tree and you sit there and you think about what you're doing. It's not nice. Don't do that. Now you have a time out. So she went poof and she went away. And little bunny FuFu looked at that tree. Didn't see the fairy godmother. His mama wasn't in the house, and there was nobody to tell him what to do. And he was so accustomed to not listening to anybody, it didn't even come up in his memory, because he had a spirit like, can't nobody tell me nothing. Tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell him nothing. So he saw a couple of mice running, and they were baby mice too. And you know what he did? Yes, he did. Yeah, sure enough, he did. Picked up those field mice and grabbed another one. He was having a good time. And they were whimpering, ouch, you're so mean, you're a bully. And poof, the fairy godmother, she said, I told you once and I told you twice. I'll tell you one more time, and you're going to be sorry. You don't do this. This is not a nice thing. It's bullying. Stop the bullying. Bullying is not nice. Treat people nice, okay? He looked at her and he just looked, okay, if not, something very bad happened to you if you don't listen. Well, do you think he listened? Oh, no, he didn't. Soon as she went poof and went away, he started singing his song and hopping through the forest. Little bunny FuFu hopping through the forest, picking up the field mice. I got you. You look so silly. Oh, then the fairy godmother, she came down and she said, little bunny FuFu, what I tell you? What I tell you? You ain't listening to me? I mean, she lost all that nice tone. She had to get real with little bunny FuFu. You know what, bunny FuFu? I told you once, I told you twice, I told you 3 times. And you didn't change your ways, cause can't nobody tell you nothing. Well, I'm going to tell you this. From now on, you will be a goon. You are a goon. He didn't understand what a goon was. But poof, he was in this dark, dark place. And he thought it was way underground. He said, oh my gosh, I went to hell and died. And so he decided maybe he'll sing his song. And now the end is clear. I did it my way. He was still just as stubborn as anything. But then he climbed out of that burrow, looked inside of the river, saw his reflection, and realized he was a goon monster, right? She had turned him into a goon. So he went from a cute bunny, a cute hair, a cute bunny, cuddly bunny that snuggle with you, to a goon monster. To this day, little bunny FuFu is a goon monster because he didn't listen to nobody and nobody could tell him nothing. Okay, well, that's a story. And you can talk to your children and say, your students, and say, how were you like that bunny? And you can be transparent and say how you were like that bunny and how you learned a valuable lesson. Okay, well, this is another lesson about rabbits. And by the way, on my page, I have some facts about rabbits, and you can have your child do, or I call it student because you might be playing the teacher now and have to separate the 2 roles. And not only that, you can look at some facts about rabbits and do what I call a Venn diagram, when you have 2 circles that connect, and in the middle are things that are like and things that are different on the side. So you can compare, after they research rabbits, how rabbits different and how they're similar to the pets that you have at home. Maybe you have a fish, or maybe you have a cat. It gets their brains going and gets their them learning. And every time you learn something, you flex your brain. You kind of you create new neural paths. So it's a good thing to learn. Okay, the next story is how the rabbit got his short tail and legs. See, a long time ago, the rabbit had the legs of a model. Like my mom. My mom says, beautiful long legs. And he had long legs, and he would walk very proudly, nose in the air. He just felt so good about himself, self-confident, could do what he wanted to do, go where he wanted to go, and still had that kind of full of himself spirit. And so nobody could be around him because he was so full of himself. His personality would come in, he would just crowd up the place, and everybody wanted to be done with him. Would you just please leave the forest? Can you go somewhere else? Because we're tired of you bragging on yourself and just walking around and bragging about your legs. You know what? He says, I don't have to live with you people. I'll go someplace else and live. I'll go someplace else and live. So I can live anywhere I want to live. I'm a rabbit with beautiful long legs. I can go anywhere I want to go. So he decided, okay, well, what can I do? He looked to the water and he says, well, maybe I can live in the water. I've got these long legs for swimming. I bet you I can cover a distance. So he jumps into the water and he starts moving his legs. And he starts hitting fish, the small fish. And he said, please, would you go get those long legs out the way? And besides, he got tired. So he decided, no, this ain't working for me. This is too much work. What can I do? What can I do? And he thought about, where can I live? So he decided to burrow and to live underground, right? And so it was a lot of work, but he took time and he pushed his legs down there, but he didn't cover his body. And the animals were saying, you got to dig deeper, man. You got to dig deeper. If you want to get your body in, you got to dig deeper. But he wouldn't listen to, because he was one of those, can't nobody tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. So he was tired of people trying to tell him what to do. The beautiful buddy with the beautiful long legs. He decided, where else can I live? Can't live in the water, too much work. Can't live in the burrow because they just get on my nerve. They complain. Where can I live? And he looked up, and there was trees. Now, I know I talked about, I said forest, but this was a jungle forest with all kind of animals, okay? This is a story. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. So, there were monkeys. And they were high up in the tree. And he said, oh, that's cool. I think I like that. I mean, high up on the tree, then it's a vantage point. I can see everything. So he decided he's going to climb up in that tree, and he lived in that tree. And he was like, this is great. I just grab a banana, nice breeze coming through. But then one day, the weather was changing. And the monkey said to him, and his name was Sangura. They said, Sangura, move to another branch because the wind is blowing. He said, I don't feel like it. Maybe tomorrow. I'm cool. I'm just chilling right here. Leave me alone. And everybody moved up to another branch, higher. And they said stronger branches. And then the wind started blowing even more so. And he kind of liked it because his long tail was just flowing in the air. And they said, Sangura, Sangura, move to a stronger branch. The wind is blowing. That could break the branch. And you know what he was thinking? Can't nobody tell me nothing. Can't nobody tell me nothing. He had a can't nobody tell me nothing attitude. And he didn't listen to wisdom. There's a saying that wise men receive knowledge, fools tend to folly. In fact, you shouldn't cast your pearls on swine if they ain't listening. We got a swine attitude. Well, anyway, he had an attitude. In fact, he was like, would you just shut up? Would you just leave me alone, okay? I'm up here chilling. Do what you want to do. I might do it tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. No, Sangura, you have to move. The storm is coming. The birds have moved. You've got to go to a stronger branch or go someplace for cover. Leave me alone. And he started singing his favorite song in his head. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Can't tell me nothing. And the wind started to blow, and his tail started to go like that, and his legs started to go like that, and he held on, and the wind was blowing, his legs was rolling, twirling, and before you know it, the branch snapped, and he went falling to the ground. Help! Woo! And he got up, and he tried to get up. He tried to get up, but his legs wouldn't hold him because they were broken. And his tail had broken completely off. But he didn't mind. He just fluffed it out a little bit, just fluffed out that tail. It's all right. I'm cool. I'll get my legs back and go on my beautiful legs. I'm known for my beautiful legs. I walk in, I look like, hey, royalty. But, he laid there. And the monkeys and the other animals said to him, you've got to go to see the doctor. Go see the village doctor. You must do that today. And he says, tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Not today. I'm chilling. I'm cooling. Leave me alone. The next 2 or 3 days went by, and the animals came to him, and he's laying there because bananas had fallen near him. He didn't have to go anywhere. He was just eating and laying down and chilling. He wasn't doing anything. And they said to him, even the wise old owl said to him, you got to go to the village doctor or you're to fix your legs. And you know what? He went Annie on him. Then he went, tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. Leave me alone. Come on, don't you know? Can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm Sangura. The beautiful rabbit with the long legs. I'll be cool. I'll be fine. And then after a while, he got up. And he could not stand upright. His feet had turned to hinds feet. His legs had bent. And to this day, he does not have long legs. He has short legs. And you know what he learned to do? He learned to move very quickly. He learned to be alert and attentive and listening and doing what he needs to do right away, you know? Because sometimes when you have a can't nobody tell you nothing, you can turn into a goody bird and look really stupid. Like the rabbit in the first story. And you look back and say, why'd I do that? Because wise men receive instructions. And the more you receive wisdom from VOSA, voices of sound advice around you, find those voices of sound advice around you. They might not be your cousin or the person next door. It might be your grandmother. It might be somebody, a teacher, a minister. It could be a family member that's giving you the right thing to do. I don't want to put too much in there because I want you to have time to discuss that with your family. You can compare the two stories. You can just, like I said, be transparent. How have you been like Sangura the rabbit, you know? And why is it important to do things right away? And what are some things that you need to wait for and yet remain alert? You don't have to jump on everything. Sometimes a rabbit just stops and listens to assess where everything's around him because he learned to assess his environment, to look at what's going on. And as we look about what's going on in our society, so we can be prepared health-wise, economically, at the best we can with all these changes. Thank you for letting me come into your home. This is the KYL graph I mentioned. It's what you know, what you want to learn, and what you learned. And you can give this to your child. Again, this could be affirming, just to brainstorm everything they know, the simplest things about a rabbit, right? And then what they want to learn, who, what, when, where, why, you know, where a rabbit's found, or how many colors can rabbits be found in? Are there striped rabbits? You know, and then this is what you've learned. And again, this is something that they can do, or they can do the Venn diagram, and you can also leave some time for discussion to journal what the meaning of this story is and how they might apply it, and maybe, maybe it'll help you too. Okay. Thank you for listening. And because I'm going to save it if I have enough room on my phone. If not, there'll be some more things. But please go to Storytelling by Pamela, Pamela Grace, and that's one word. And I think I have it VOSA Pamela Grace. That's the you can plug that in and you'll get to the page. Please like the page. I'll be posting some stories. It also leads you to a YouTube I did some time ago. And I'm going to put the podcast that I have done before and my website for storytelling, okay? And I hope that this encourages you not only to tell make-believe stories, but stories about your life, some funny stories. You know, my ex-husband would always tell the kids after watching Mary Poppins, he climbed on the top of his house with an umbrella. And to this day, I still remember the story and think, oh, that hope inside of him to think he could fly, you know. So maybe you have some stories, just some fun stories or some things you've learned. Hi, Marvin, the retired policeman. God bless you. I'm so glad you're safe. And I see another lady I just recently met through at an event. God bless you. Thank you for giving me your time, and I hope this blesses you. Forgive me if I went over 10 minutes. Have a great day. Bye. Bye-bye. Oh.